Title: I found a pregnancy test in the trash, but I had secretly got a vasectomy. The next day, I overheard my wife talking to her mom. Of course I'll tell him it's his. I already did this with the first child. Start: I never believed silence could be this loud. The kind that presses against your chest until breathing feels unnatural. That night, it came from a stick in the trash bin. A faint pink cross staring back at me like an omen. A pregnancy test. I should have been shocked, excited maybe, but I wasn't, because 2 years ago I'd had a vasectomy. Quiet. Final. So instead of joy, I felt something else coil inside me, something sharp, steady, and patient. I met her when I was 24. She was laughter in crowded rooms, soft hands in quiet nights. We built a life together, 2 kids, a home, the illusion of trust. She told me I made her feel safe. I believed her. I carried her bags, fixed her car, held her while she cried. I gave her loyalty without question. And maybe that was my first mistake. The next morning, I heard her voice float down the hall. She was on the phone with her mother. Her tone was casual, careless. Of course I'll tell him it's his. I already did this with the first child. He didn't notice anything. My lover isn't ready for kids. I froze. Every word hit harder than the last. The first child? My son? My daughter? I stood there, listening, while my life cracked in half. I didn't confront her, not then. Anger wanted me to storm in, scream, demand answers. But anger is loud. Anger makes mistakes. I chose silence, and silence is a weapon. When she left for work, I packed my essentials, just enough not to raise suspicion if she noticed something missing. I walked out of that house like a ghost. No note, no explanation, just absence. But I wasn't done. I took the pregnancy test with me. Evidence. A trophy of betrayal, maybe. I knew where it belonged. Her lover was married. I'd seen him before, once at a barbecue she claimed was for coworkers. His wife was there, polite, unsuspecting. She deserved the truth more than I did. I mailed the test to her, with a simple note. Ask your husband who this belongs to. Then I waited. It didn't take long. 3 nights later, my phone lit up with an unknown number. Her voice was trembling, but not with confusion. No, it was rage. I knew he was hiding something. But your wife? She's not the first. He's been doing this for years. He has a pattern. I tried to warn you once, but she said you wouldn't believe me. I gripped the phone tighter. My pulse roared in my ears. Warn me once? That meant she knew. She knew my wife had betrayed me long before this test. But that wasn't the part that carved me open. It was what she said next. Your daughter, she looks nothing like you. And I'm sorry, but I've heard him brag. She's his. She's always been his. My knees nearly gave out. My daughter, the little girl who called me daddy, whose drawings hung on my office wall. Not mine? No scream came out, just silence again. That same crushing silence from the night I found the test. Pain can cripple, but in me, it sharpened. I gathered everything, bank records, messages, the recording I'd taken of her phone call to her mother. Evidence. Enough to dismantle the perfect little life she thought she controlled. I filed for divorce through a lawyer who specialized in betrayal cases. I cut off joint accounts. I froze credit cards. I let her discover it all on her own, one declined payment at a time. Then came the custody battle. Not for my daughter. I wasn't her biological father. But my son was mine. A DNA test confirmed it. She thought I wouldn't dare, but I did. Every lie she'd spun unraveled in court. I painted her with her own words, recordings, texts, the testimony of her lover's wife. A perfect portrait of deceit. She tried tears, she tried rage, none of it mattered. I won custody, full. She was left with visitation rights, supervised at that. The day the judgment came down, she cornered me in the courthouse hallway. Her eyes were wild, mascara streaked like war paint. How could you do this to me? She hissed. I leaned in, calm, steady. You did this to yourself. She flinched, like the truth burned more than any insult could. Her lover's wife left him too. took half of everything. He lost his family, his money, and the illusion of control. And all because of one pink cross in a trash bin. Now, when I tuck my son into bed, I see the trust in his eyes, trust I'll never break. He's mine, in blood and in bond. My daughter, no, his daughter, still calls me sometimes. I don't correct her. She's innocent. She'll learn the truth one day, but not from me. Do I regret any of it? No. Regret is for men who wish they'd acted differently. I acted exactly as I needed to. Betrayal tried to make me a victim. Instead, I became the executioner. And sometimes, justice doesn't come with a gavel or a gun. Sometimes, it's quieter. A silence sharp enough to cut.